Ladies and germs, it is David Newman, the 2018 Cigar Peg Eddie Award winner and highest auctioned celebrity at the party, Mr. David Newman.
Thank you, Dr. Rigsby. Great to be here at the Cigar Peg Key West Mastermind. And if you're not here, you're missing out. What the hell is wrong with you? There's multi-million-dollar ideas being shared here. And then I'm presenting also. So, what works now? I came here as like an empty slate. And I just figured, okay, whatever the group wants. So we're having the past couple days of conversations like, okay, what do you want? What do you need, Lynn? And so Ray and I were talking, he says, I don't want any more content. I don't want to learn any more shit. I want to figure out what to do with the shit I already have.
That's it.
And what do I do to generate leads? What do I do to monetize this stuff? What are some different distribution methods for all this stuff that I'm sitting on, this storehouse of training and teaching and intellectual property? So I'm going to share with you a little bit about what's working now in my business, and then I've got probably the back two-thirds of the presentation is just some takeaways, some tactics, things like video, what we're doing with Facebook, what we're doing with all kinds of things, and I've got all kinds of tools and tips and crap you can look into later. And then we'll have plenty of time for questions also. So, my business, like most people, although some people say, oh, I started out and my first year was $1 million year. No, my first 3 years of my business was a complete and utter disaster, like train wreck. So I started in 2002. I had a 10-year career as a corporate consultant, trainer, etc. January 1st, 2002, went out on my own figuring, hey, how hard can this be? Turns out it's pretty freaking hard because you're not just a trainer and a consultant, now you're the salesperson, now you're the marketing director, now you're the chief cook and bottle washer. So, first 3 years I would essentially say slowly going broke. 2005 to 2008, I started to kind of hit my stride, figure some things out, did primarily two things only, speaking/training, and then I did a lot of one-on-one coaching. I'm going to talk about how that coaching thing eventually evolved into what I'm doing now. 2009, I started doing group coaching, one-to-many, and that's how I make 100% of my money now, an evolved version of that I'll show you the inside workings of. 2012, I started doing webinars to generate leads and sell my course and get all kinds of other things, so for both lead generation and for sales purposes. 2014, I turned off my one-on-one except for very special people. So that was my kind of bread and butter for 10 plus years, and I turned it off. And I started doing this high-fee mentoring program, which we'll talk about. And then 2015, I added a year-long sort of mastermind long-term program. So that's sort of the quick take on the last 16 years. When I realized that my schedule was so crammed with one-on-one people, this is an actual snapshot of my calendar from 2013. I had 27 one-on-one meetings during a single work week. That's more than 5 a day.
I thought you were going to say that for the month.
No, more than 5 a day. This is what it looked like. So these are some, actual snapshot. Please don't call Beth Ramsey, even though that's her office number. But that's what my life looked like. And I realized two things. Number one, lifestyle-wise, if I can't get up and go pee during the day, I've got a problem. And then more importantly, from a scalability, revenue, business model, I was hitting the ceiling going, well, I'm never going to make more money than what I'm making here. And so I did the math on this, and I said, okay, at any given time I've got 10 to 12 active clients. Some are coming in, some are graduating, some are in the middle. Based on what I was charging back then, I was pretty much topping out at $225,000, which for some people, not people in this room, but you little people, you might be like, oh, I'd love to make $225,000. That I had bigger dreams than making $225,000 a year. More importantly, I was not crazy about the 60-hour work weeks and getting up at 5 a.m. like I always do, and then realizing by 7 p.m. I still didn't have much going on. No freedom, no scale, no time off, and of course, when you're doing one-on-one, when I'm here with you guys, for example, I'm not making money, right? Today, I'm here with you guys, and I'm making money. It's totally fantastic. So this is really about the power of the one-to-many business model. And the source of this can be whatever you're doing right now, in whatever distribution method it happens to be. A lot of us have keynotes, training, courses, workshops, facilitation that we do. It could even be stuff that you've collected. So Ed and I were talking, for example, that, hey, I have this whole bunch of articles. Maybe the articles can become a book, maybe the book becomes a seminar or a boot camp or something like that, and the answer is yes, 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 and yes. So whatever the source material is for this scalable one-to-many program, you probably already have it, unless you're fresh off the boat and you got nothing, but then this is probably not for you yet. You know, the evolution is first you have to walk, and then you run, then you fly. But most of us are somewhere in that running to flying area, and so that's good. To design the actual program, I always do it backwards. So I write them, before any program exists, I write the marketing copy. So the marketing copy says, well, okay, you're gonna get 7 strategies for this. You're gonna get 5 reasons to own a niche. You're gonna get 12 ways to monetize your business. And I may have, out of that source material, I know what that stuff is, but I haven't put it together in this new format yet. But I always start with the outcomes that I want to deliver. So I call this Viro plus E, which is value, impact, results, and outcomes, plus the emotional payoff of getting those outcomes. So if people want to do more speaking gigs, they want to get more consulting projects, they want to do more training days, whatever that is, well, how will that make you feel? How will that make you feel personally, professionally, financially? What will that do for you, for your family, for your lifestyle? Oh, that means I can get a new car. That means I can take more time off. That means I can visit my grandkids. That means I can do whatever. So I always start with the marketing, and as an example, and we were talking about this last night a little bit, when I started putting my first course together, I was selling this 7-module course, and it was $777. And I sold a lot of it, sold hundreds of thousands of dollars of this course. This was 2012, 2013, 2014. Then I realized, well, wait a second, the course is great, but people really need some help in implementing what's in the course. So the same exact content, this is about the reformulation and rejiggering, I now sell for between $10,000 and $15,000 per person. It's an evolution. I changed it, I upgraded it, and so forth. But really, it's the same core content as what's in that $777 course. So I literally 10 or 15x the price, because now they get mentorship, now they get guidance, now they get access to me and my team to help them implement what we're teaching. And we're talking about teaching versus implementation a little bit later even here. So I would write, this is just marketing copy that on day one I said, well, okay, what's the foundational module for my speaker marketing program? And it's going to be about the strategy, your speaking model, business model, revenue model, your target, your niche, your identity, create a speaking revenue roadmap. When I wrote that for the first time, I had no freaking idea what it was. I thought, well, that would be cool if I invented something like a speaking revenue roadmap. What the hell is it? I don't know. Marketing copy first. This is like writing a book outline and then writing the book, right? You don't know what the hell's in chapter 7, but you say, well, I'm going to talk about, or I'm going to give them a strategy for, and then when you go back to create the actual book or create the actual program, now that's your punch list. If I promise you 5 reasons to own a niche, I'm like, well, let's see, number 1, number 2, right, number 3, okay, and I just went through the entire program like that. So positioning, naming, and branding, that's important. Here's the stuff I promised them. And of course, as you're doing this, like when you're writing a book, new ideas will come to you, but you just can't fill in the blanks. Goals, targets, and focus. And so all of this is bullshit until it's not. So you say, well, here's what I want to, have them salivate over, and then you reverse engineer, you deliver on the promises that you have them salivating over. So I like to work backwards in these kind of high-fee group programs. When people pay us a lot of money, this is true with consulting, and that's why I said consulting, coaching, speaking, training, it applies to everything. If you have a choice of doing a 4-day program or a 2-day program, do the 2-day program. If you have a choice of writing a 15-chapter book or a 9-chapter book, write the 9-chapter book. If you can do a 90-day mentorship versus an 8-week mentorship, do the 8-week mentorship. When people pay us a lot of money, they're really paying for 2 things. They're paying for you to shorten the path and to accelerate the speed to a defined result that they want. How many people have bought any sort of online course or online program where it was like hundreds of videos or hundreds of pages of PDFs and it was unfinishable? And some of these programs, I'm not going to name names, but there's kind of the internet marketing genre. And these are fantastic programs, by the way, and I've paid lots of money for these programs. So whether it's product launch formula or any of these other ones, they literally have hundreds of hours of shit to get through. And then when you go back to that guru where you say, well, I tried this and it didn't work, they go, well, you didn't complete the program. Of course I didn't complete the program. Your program is freaking unfinishable. I don't have that many hours in the day. So take that massive, there's 150 videos, there's 37 PDFs, there's 2,000 pages of scripts. You know what? 8 weeks, 7 modules. If you printed out my entire $10,000 program, can I borrow your notebook for a quick second? And people have done this. Print out everything that's in my program. This is about right. Think about an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper. It's this. It's this. This is why it's a $10,000, $15,000 program. If I gave you a phone book, it would be less valuable. So I want you to think about this in your world. Thank you. There's two kinds of buyers that buy any of our stuff: coaching, consulting, mentoring. There's people who are looking for the mule, and there's people who are looking for the magician. And there's two kinds of prospects, and frankly, there's two kinds of consultants. The mule, the pack mule, right? Well, how many hours do I get with Ray? Well, how long is that training session? Do we go 9 to 6 or do we go 9 to 3? Because I want 9 to 6. I want the more stuff you can pack it. How big is the binder? Oh, it's a 290-page binder? Good. Man, we bought a program that was only a 30-page binder. I didn't like that. They're a mule. They think your program is sold by weight, not by volume, right? So it's like the more crap you load in, the better. That's the mule. The magician is, give me the easy button. Like most CEOs are looking for the easy button. They don't give a rat's ass how big your fucking binder is. Pardon my French, Facebook people. Parental advisory right there. Boom. Just put it in the corner. Parental advisory, foul language, plus bourbon, plus drinking. They don't care, right? The CEO mindset is, give it to me as fast as you can in as short a time. I want the transformation. The other thing to think about with mule versus magician, a mule prospect is going to be very transactional, and a magician is going to be looking for the transformation. So we don't sell transactions. We don't sell courses and coaching and training and workshops. We sell the transformation to get people to the end result. So I want you to focus on less is more, essential steps. Give them the core principles. Give them exactly what they need to maximize their success, and not a drop more. Not a drop more. So one of my favorite Albert Einstein quotes is, things should be made as simple as possible, but not simpler. Make it as simple as possible, but not, so don't dumb it down, but give them the core stuff that they need. If you're not sure, hey, do I include this in the workshop? Do I include this in the video series? Do I include this in the webinar? If you're not sure, it's out, right? It's either a hell yes, or it's, it's like, well, yeah, this is sort of good. Some people might like, a few people might need, no, it's out. Unless it's absolutely essential, my mantra is as little as possible to maximize their results. So that's sort of what's working as far as my distribution method, my business model right now. As far as marketing, which is what Ray really signed up for, anytime that you have any sort of program, old, new, doesn't really matter, one of the key principles I like to practice and teach is use all of your real estate wisely. So that starts with every single piece of internet electronic property that you own on your homepage, your email signature file, all of your social media accounts where you get that link. So let's say you have a new program or a new book, or you're launching a new workshop, right? On Twitter, you get the URL for Twitter. On Facebook, you get the URL that's the hot link for your either Facebook page or your personal profile. Everywhere. When I did my book launch back in 2013, everything pointed to the book. because that was my 100% focus for that 6 months is book, 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 book. So in my email signature file, on my homepage, every social media account, my LinkedIn profile, where you have the jobs. So creator of is a job position. Creator of the Super Duper Leadership Program. What's your program called again?
21st Century.
Right. So do you have that in your LinkedIn profile, create as one of your job positions?
Mm-hmm. Well, it says owner facilitator.
So, okay, but it's a separate
21st
entry,
century.
correct? Okay, great. So every one of those things is an opportunity to bring awareness and generate leads and so forth. Your blog posts, if you're doing any kind of blogging or article marketing, in your bio box, the hot link, the link back to whatever you want to drive them to, is gonna be that main thing. So in my world, my main funnel right now, marketing funnel, not sales funnel, sorry, Ren, is about a webinar, and the webinar leads to a conversation with someone on our team. Everything, everywhere, every time, it's doitmarketing.com/webinar. So anytime someone sees something or a post or an article or anything, it's watch the freaking webinar, watch the freaking webinar, watch the freaking webinar. If they're further down in the process, they've seen the webinar, then it's book a freaking call, book a freaking call, book a freaking call. I actually did buy the domain bookafreakingcall.com. So if you go to bookafreakingcall.com, it'll go to my homepage. I didn't redirect it anywhere. So that's that. Now, let's say you have a course. Like Ray has this course, he kind of bakes it into his program, has not sold it standalone. I like that idea, by the way, but I think you can do a lot more with it. So upsell, cross-sell, or bake whatever it is that you have, bake it into some other offering. So if you had let's say you have a membership site or some sort of continuity program, add a 14-day free trial to every keynote. So everyone in your keynote audience is going to have that 14-day free trial. Then they get an email on day 12 or day 13, hey, you've been in here, do you love it? Click here, it's $197 a month, whatever the upsell is. You can add it to your training classes. You can invite your one-on-one clients to continue the learning. Think about ways to extend the value of what you're doing with everything else that's in your arsenal. Books, videos, training, coaching, inner circle, masterminds, CEO roundtables. There's lots of opportunities to upsell and cross-sell. So Margaret, for you, for example, because you have access to these CEOs and you're doing all this cool stuff with them, an easy question to get more speaking is, hey, where do you go for as far as conferences, associations, and your own professional development? I'm looking to fill my calendar for 2019. I'd love your advice, insights, and recommendations. Copyright Michael Goldberg, CSP, calls it an asking for air conversation, right? Advice, insights, recommendations. And Goldberg needs to be here, by the way. What the hell? Goldberg, get your ass down here. We need you. I keep quoting you and crediting you. If you can do it in some way that generates monthly recurring revenue, that's MRR, monthly recurring revenue is fantastic. So one of the things that I'm thinking of doing is I have this defined period sort of program is once folks graduate from that core program, we just keep it going for $2,500 a month. And stop anytime, because my job is to add value every single month to those folks that were in that group program. And that way, people say, and I shared this with Margaret also, is, I'm a third year in Margaret's Mastermind. I'm in year 2, I'm in year 7. Margaret's been on our team for 5 years, for 7 years, because it was this monthly recurring thing. So monthly recurring revenue is key. This works even with small groups. I have clients, for example, who are Vistage speakers, and they're talking to 10, 12, 15 CEOs. I don't recommend Vistage speaking, but it's a whole thing. This guy was already into it. He was already doing 30 or 40 a year. And we said, well, how can you monetize that? Because Vistage is, typically cheap, broke ass losers. That's, disclaimer down below. Now we have a parental advisory and a legal disclaimer. This is only David Newman's opinion. And so here's what this guy did. His name is Charles Scott. I checked in with him and I said, hey, how's it going with your high fee program that we put together? He says, thanks for checking, David. I made $54,000 in the past month. past month from the executive mentoring program I created, Remarkable What Can Happen When You Set an Ambitious Goal. I recruited one of the execs from the webinar I gave, but the rest came from my Vistage workshops and my existing network. This is the magic right here. We all have an existing network of under-potentialized, under-monetized people. You go back to them with your new sexy offer, your new sexy CEO roundtable, your new sexy course or program, and they will buy. So whether we continue working together or not, the answer is not, because this guy's a fuckhead. But you know, I made him $54,000 in 30 days, more money than he's ever made in his life. He's like, no, I'm good. I have it figured out now. He could have been $1 million guy by now, but that's just sour grapes. Anyway, I'd like to thank you for providing the tools, framework, and motivation for me to create an executive mentoring program that exceeded my most ambitious financial goals. But no, I don't want to continue. I don't want to keep going. Why? You know,
Did you show him the
I've gotten.
He might see this.
You know, he actually won't. He actually won't. He's such a dickhead.
Everything's relevant.
All right. See, this just pisses the living shit out of me. Like when you move the needle for a guy like this, and he goes, no, I'm good. I don't want to continue. And he paid me like whatever, 10 grand, $54,000 in 30 days. It's like, would you pay another 10 grand for like another 54,000? I don't know. I would. Call me a gambler. I don't know. Other things that are working for us. Video. Video is all about personal authenticity. So you can write, you can put all kinds of content out there. When they see your face, when they hear your voice, that is a bonding moment, right? You can't outsource video. Although we were kidding about that the other night about it. It's like, hello, my name is Ray Leone, and you may know me as the founder of this. I was like, wait a second. No, he doesn't have time to do videos, so I'm doing videos as Ray, and then Ray will do videos as David Newman, and Annalisa will do Dan, and vice versa. It'll all be great. So we'll just outsource all the video to everybody. The tools I like to use for Facebook Live, there's a great program called BeLive.tv that has capability for a one-person video, a two-person interview style show, or a up to 4 people on camera and then 10 people on deck, like in a talk show format. And that is really, really cool. The other tool that I use is called Ecamm Live. Ecamm Live lets you do all kinds of things, including, the cool thing with Ecamm Live, you can take a static video that you've already have recorded, and you can stream it through Facebook Live as if it's live right there in the moment. So it'll let you take an existing video that you have, any of your videos, pop it into Facebook Live, turn on the live streaming, and it looks like it's a live stream. So Facebook is now prioritizing Facebook Live for the last year or so at least, that is their new hot thing. They want to be the YouTube killer. So anything you can do with Facebook Live, you're going to show up more in the Facebook feed. You are going to be more findable, more recognized, more acknowledged by Facebook if you do a Facebook Live, as opposed to a text post or just a photo post. The other thing you can do with video is search engine optimize your videos with keywords in the title, in the tags, and in the description field, and then that's another opportunity to put a hot link back to your world. So right at the top of the YouTube description, what do I have? Free web training at doitmarketing.com/webinar. Whatever that video happens to be about, the first line, and if you do an http:// it's actually a clickable link. A lot of people make the mistake of just putting www, and then that's not clickable in the YouTube description. If you actually put in the http:// and then the URL, it is a clickable link in your YouTube description. So for SEO, we're just starting this now, and YouTube, believe it or not, is probably the best place to dominate some search engine results. YouTube, as you know, is the #2 search engine on the planet after Google. So if people are searching Google, they're looking for web pages. They're searching YouTube, they're looking for information. And so that is also really happening. That's something you can do easily, more easily than trying to compete with your web pages and blogs. I also post a video on LinkedIn, We send video email via bombbomb.com, stupidest possible name, but it's a video email, and inside the email is a little animated moving video. You click on it and then it plays the full video. I use this for prospecting. I use it for follow-up. I use it to reactivate maybe some prospects that have gone dark because my sales funnel sucks. And I'm much better at marketing than I am at sales, although it's a developing skill. And so, this is something that really personalizes and humanizes your sales follow-up, sales outreach, initial outreach follow-up, and so forth. Another couple of tools, OneMob is it's a cool little video app on your phone. The nice thing there is it supports overlays. So let's say that you have an overlay of your book cover. So then you've got the book cover over here and you doing a little talking head 20, 30-second video. You can take that video from OneMob, it's onemob.com, and upload that to LinkedIn, use that in your social media post, record a quick custom message for a client, whatever you want to do there.
Find all this shit.
I'm a marketing dude. This is my world. I got all the fun toys here, right? Come on. And then Clips is an iPhone only thing. It's from Apple. The cool thing have you seen those videos that have like the captions? Because 70% of web video is watched without sound.
Yeah.
So they say, oh, you'll click for sound. Okay, well,
Yeah.
many people don't click. But you're in the feed, and then when you see captions, it might draw you in. So Clips is an app that as you're talking, it's almost like Dragon Naturally Speaking, it does real-time captions. You don't have to send it out. You don't need to go to Rev to get it transcribed. It just does it as you're talking. It's the freakiest thing.
That is awesome.
It's really cool.
I'm doing a video for a client, and they have some deaf people in the community who are saying, okay, we've got to close the
perfect.
caption.
Yeah,
Just found our
Clips,
Yeah.
one-stop shopping right there. As far as lead magnets, I like to have multiple entry points, and again, if you have a crap ton of content, each piece of micro content can be a lead magnet into your world. So I use, our main lead magnet right now is a webinar, but I also have PDFs, and we were talking about this at lunch. Annalisa and I were talking about this. The really successful people, again, the high-level people, the C-level people, they're not going to watch a freaking 45-minute webinar. They want to download something, read something, 1 to 3 minutes, and then if they're interested, they'll call you. And if they're not, they won't. But you have to understand your buyer persona as far as which lead magnets are they more likely to consume. And what I found, breaking news here, because my team is watching this, the folks that have time to watch a webinar are broke-ass losers. Sorry, webinar people. I watched this webinar. What the hell? Seriously, the people that have time to sit around going, yeah, no, I've got 45 minutes to kill. Say, I don't want you to have 45 minutes to kill. I want you to be in the airport going to your next $10,000 gig. I want you to download my shit, go, this guy's smart. I'm going to call him. I need some help. Right? So if you're after the alpha dogs and the eagles, and I think we're all after alpha dogs and eagles, understand what they want to consume. And don't give them elementary shit, or don't give them even advanced shit in a format that they're like, no, I'm not doing that.